recall on numerous occasions as a CISO having to navigate, well, look, with a finite budget, what are my most significant risks, and where do I want to deploy my available budget to create the most meaningful risk reduction impact, but also how do I model that and describe it? And so it was certainly a very alive topic around the table as to how people would benefit from the availability of tools that allow them to model different scenarios, multiple risk treatment options, work through the what if scenario with that, and feel confident that it's not just a kind of wet finger in the air as to whether or not I spend money on X or Y, but they can justify their decisions. And really, by allowing people, providing a capability to work through those various scenarios, you have greater confidence that you can arrive at much more informed decisions that you can support and justify related to your proposed control improvement plans, and to be able to prioritize those efforts based upon the most significant potential financial impact or reduction of risk for your organization, which is exactly where we want to be. Now, in many ways, that's easy said, it's much harder to implement. And so the conversation at that point, turn to the gnarly issue of, well, actually, how do we really do that? Because that feels a bit of a nirvana. And we spent some time talking about quantitative risk assessment, QRA tools. Yeah. Everyone was clearly bought into the fact that the value in adopting QRA tools was significant. There was absolutely a desire around the table to understand more about how risk managers could assign numerical values to risk, and by doing so enable a much more objective and consistent evaluation of their potential impact and likelihood. And the ability to walk somebody else through those numbers to justify your thinking is clearly a significant step forward for most organizations. Now, whether or not that needs to incorporate statistical models, historical data, or a number of other factors that allow us to calculate risk scores and provide a quantitative basis for our decision making is where the proof of the pudding sits. But absolutely, that's what people were seeking. And on the back of that, the need to be able to use that data to then model decision support systems. And people around the table, my peers, were absolutely of a view that we need to be able to integrate data from a variety of sources to be able to automate that risk assessment process based upon the inputs, and to, as cleanly and efficiently as possible, provide decision makers, often the CISO, but not limited to the CISO, with comprehensive information that really allows you to evaluate a number of mitigation strategies and to decide where you want to put that money. And that, I think, would take a lot of the guesswork out of the process we often go through, and allow us to both support and justify what in some cases can be quite material investment decisions for a company to make.